Hey, great Thursday evening. It is a great evening in the city of Brownsville, Texas. And it is good to be back home. It's good to be back in the studio. It's just awesome to be back. Let me say it's really cool to go to Monterrey and just do a quick little let me get myself out of here for a little bit type of trip. I actually went with a dentist because I needed some work done in regards to my bridge, as I made mention. So I'm back. And it's good to be back in the studio. That's why I know you're going to side with kids to get votes from the parents, but they really need to start behaving, arriving on time. Look, uh, please do not imply that you know what I'm going to think or say without giving me the opportunity to speak my mind. Let me say that I don't think that I've ever been insensitive in regards to the needs and wants of our educators or of our schools in any way, shape, or forms. I'm going to say this again. When at schools, teachers, administrators do well, you better believe I'm going to go out there and applaud what they do. So please offer me that, at least the benefit of the doubt and the opportunity is to speak my mind as is. Let me say, I did have a parent with some students come in the other day to my office, and I literally let the kids have it. I mean, it's just as simple as that, and I let the parent have it as well. I don't pander to anyone. And if you think for a second, my friend, that I pander for votes, you are sorely mistaken. Have you seen the stuff that I post? Have you heard my opinions in regards to a lot of the things that a lot of the folk, the woke folk here in the city of Brownsville, usually tend to fall for? Look, guys, I was the only individual out there, guys, who was fighting the rock. The only individual. No one else, not the media, some of the blogs, every so no one was fighting the rock. No one. And I warned my people. I told folks out there, guys, it starts with a little and it's going to continue on to something further than that. And again, guys, I want anyone and everyone to express themselves any which way that they can. Again, there is no one that is more in tune with the right, the freedom to express themselves than myself. I made it very, very clear, the guys, that I don't have to agree with a lot of the wants and desires of a lot of the people out there, but I'm sure is going to heck fight for their right to continue to practice what they feel is in the best interest of themselves as individuals, guys. I mean, look, I fought for students who wanted to dress in female attire on our campuses, guys. I fought for them. I mean, do I agree? I don't have to agree. It doesn't matter. I fought for individuals that wanted to keep the right to smoke in bars. The owners who wanted to keep smoking in bars alive. Do I smoke myself? Do I like smoke? No. No. But I will fight for your constitutional rights and your freedom to express and your freedom to pursue happiness, which way you deem that in your best interest, man. So please don't go into that. Oh, Erasmo wants to pander for votes. Guys, I've stated it. I've expressed my opinions. My opinions don't necessarily go in tune with a lot of the folk here in the city of Brownsville anyway. And I don't care. Love you, though. Let me get to the comments and then we'll bring on Melissa. Hello, long time. I've missed seeing the show. Agustin, welcome back. I can't remember the rest of the words. Welcome back. El Lansmo. Buenas noches, Frank. Buenas noches. I heard the muralist will be signing autographs this week. He will be using a projector to sign his name. That's actually a good one. Good evening, Joe, my man. You got to fight for the right to party. Good evening, guys. Smoking a bar is not, no, but individuals who own the bar have a right to want to let anyone smoke that in their facility that they want. So what? And look, my argument back then, Chuck, was, hey, if a bar wants to, allow individuals to smoke, they're going to lose the clientele that don't like smoking, guys. Just simple as that. It's their call. And if individuals are bothered by smoke, don't go to bars that allow smoking. Go to other bars that don't allow smoking. That's the constitutional right I'm referring to, my man. Good evening, Melissa. Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Hi, everybody. How are you, Erasmo?
It's good to see you.
Good to see you, friend.
How have you been?
I've been super fantastic. We're in Austin right now.
In Austin?
Yes, we're in Austin. We have a festival this weekend, Medicine for the People in Dripping Springs, Texas. It's a 4-day festival.
I want to go.
Come. You still have time to get here. Super fantastic. It's going to be so much fun. There's going to be so much music and entertainment, art, yoga, traditional healing methods, meditation, tantra, angel walk. I mean, look it up. Medicine for the People. It's going to be fantastic.
How long? I mean, when did it start? When does it start? When does it end?
It started today. So we drove up today, and we're in Austin, so it's about 30 minutes west of here, and we're going to drive out there tomorrow, pitch our tent, and just be in the element. And,
but how long when does it end?
Sunday.
Yeah,
time, friend. You still have time.
No, I mean, I would leave now, actually, but I love Austin. I'd leave now, but I have a wedding on Friday at noon, and then I could probably leave after that wedding. But then I have a couple of weddings on Saturday.
Oh, next year we do it. They do it every year on the equinox.
Wow. Yeah. So Equinox is not a car?
No.
I think it might be a car. Good evening. Hola, and Miss Murillo. Good evening. Hey, y'all. Hey, Bonnie, hermosa. Good evening. At the end of the day, you got to fight for your right to party at the Equinox. Good evening, King. I'm back. Finally, I've been missing you, my man. Love you. Have a great night as well. I have to head out to New York. I wish you would have let me know. Well, we could have actually done lunch today, Papa. Alfonso Esteban Villarreal, hola, hermoso. Good evening. Hey, Joe, my man. What's up, bro? I haven't seen you in a while. Melissa, so besides attending Equinox festivals throughout the world, what other do you do here in beautiful Brownstown, Texas?
Well, I've been a laboratory scientist for about 25 years. So, and I've served the community in the laboratory in numerous capacities. I was a laboratory director for several years for a local hospital in Brownsville. And then I was an operations manager for the Rio Grande Valley for another laboratory that has the headquarters in Austin. And then I did human resources for a good while for a company that worked with pipe welders, ship fitters, and TIG welders, MIG welders. And then I went back into the hospital sector, and I right now I'm managing the transfusion services department of a hospital in Harlingen.
Awesome.
So, but I cover all areas of the lab. I mean, we're generalists, so anything having to do with laboratory, I mean, that's what I do for a living. But my passion has always been art, science, song, dance, poetry, anything artistic in nature, jewelry making, painting, singing, herbal medicine, traditional healing, curanderismo, a lot of traditional, cultural, deep-rooted beliefs that a lot of the people in Brownsville hold dear to their hearts as well.
That's awesome. Let me say that I mean, I'm right there with you. Yeah, it's crazy, but I mean, it was like if you were describing me all the way around.
Yeah.
Well, except for the hospital work.
Yeah. That's a lot of us in our community. We have deep rooted traditions, deep rooted culture.
Well, one of the things that I've always been concerned with, and I think that for the longest time, a lot of our fine arts folks, and I'd like to classify all of us as fine arts folks. For the longest time, our fine arts folks did one of two things: either they remained quiet for far too long, or they splintered off into their own groups without probably realizing that a lot more could have been done in regards to the cultural awareness that needs to be brought down to the city if we had all just started to join
Yeah, and
voices.
but unfortunately, I mean, we give them the benefit of the doubt that they're going to do what they have job descriptions for. I mean, there is a culture task force for the city of Brownsville. Who's on that? I don't know. Um, and I'm talking strictly city of Brownsville because there are a lot of initiatives that the private museums or the private art studios do for the community. But I don't know. I it's a little bit sad because what is the city doing? They're depending on everybody else doing it. But I mean, if those are positions that are budgeted for, what's happening to that money? And it just, it's a little disturbing.
Well, it's very disturbing, and I'll tell you my take on it really quickly. And I've been fighting the system for years now, and I've been fighting them because I'm tired, and I've been tired for years now of individuals promising so much and pandering to individuals, wanting to get their vote, and then once they obtain a certain seat or once they obtain a certain position, then all of a sudden we're not important anymore. And
Yeah, yeah, and that really bothered me because at the time when in the runoff, in my case, I really didn't have a choice of who I was going to vote to because of the history that I had with our current mayor's opponent. Um, um, there was just a bad history with the local punk kids, or we were classified as the punks back then, that frequented Sunrise Mall, and there was a lot of harassment from Trey's opponent, and we remember how we were treated, and people will always remember how you treat them.
oh,
So you we thought we were choosing the lesser of two evils, voting for a handsome, young, motivated Chicano lawyer whose job it is, and his bread and butter is to stand up for his people, the people that he is supposed to defend, the people that he can be outspoken for, because that's what he does. So what happened? Well, when it was time to stand up for his people, and had it been that they were really going to showcase an artist from out of town, they should have just said that. But that's not what they said. Even us artists would have supported them bringing in an artist from out of town and said, "Look, we're bringing this guy because he has this job that he's going to do for us." So we're thinking, okay, we'll stick to the press release what it says, but be very careful with your words. Be careful with your words, because they were very offensive to not only to me but to a lot of artists in the community, by saying that this artist's work was going to catapult the local art to the next level. So
that's insulting.
yeah, it is. It's offensive, because how would he feel if we said that we're going to bring a lawyer from Houston or from some other place, and that lawyer is going to be the one, the one that's going to raise the bar and set the standard for future lawyers in this area. I mean, come on, dude, what are you saying? I mean, it was offensive.
Well,
So, and then I think about it and I say, okay, well, I've been a director, I've handled millions of dollars, and I've been trusted with money to make the right decisions. And when I say that I'm going to do something with money that's been allocated to the city, then do what you say you're going to do, or tell the truth. Tell us. I don't think anybody would have been upset if they had said it, but if there had been transparency. and we had not been misled. And if they would have been careful with their words about how they phrased things, and it makes me wonder. I mean, does he even write his own press releases? Does he read what's going out there? I mean,
Oh, he
because
does.
well, and that's even worse.
That's even worse. But he does. But
And
my concern is it's kind of like a progression, and I started to see the progression, and it's a very, very sad progression, because it's like at first it was like there was this hole dug, and every single time a new Instagram message or a new Facebook post came out, it's like he kept on digging the hole deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, till I think that what happened, Melissa, says that he got to this point where he couldn't dig himself out anymore. So
and then he just didn't even care anymore. It was like, you might not like it, but deal with it. And it's like, okay, we were told that it was supposed, in the press release, we were told that it was supposed to showcase Brownsville's endeavors of being progressive and innovative. And then the artist himself, when he was interviewed, said there is absolutely no theme. It was just simply to inspire happiness and civic pride. Then somebody calls him out on it on his Instagram post and says, "Mayor, this doesn't represent Brownsville at all." And he flat out says, this was not intended to represent Brownsville. It was solely to showcase this artist's talent. Which in reality was, he just screwed that artist, because that was not Teddy Kelly's best. That was Teddy Kelly limited to a 3-letter logo to satisfy whatever motive. That is commercial art. Had this artist been given the opportunity to really showcase his talent, I've seen Teddy Kelly's work. So Brownsville, I'm sorry, they got what they paid for. They knew exactly what they asked for. They knew exactly what it was going to look like. They should have just been honest. And then the last burner was the Valley Central article, where they talked about, okay, it's been completed. And they again quote him as saying, oh, this was to promote cultural awareness. Well, dude, make up your mind. Make up your mind. Tell the truth. I mean, nobody in the art community really would have given a crap if they would have said, we're bringing this artist from out of town because he's going to do these great things or whatever. But then you tie that into the fact that those monies were supposed to benefit the community. Okay, well, that's still a different story. Now, if those monies were given to where Elon was paying directly, and it's coming out of his own, just like it's not being passed off as a donation to benefit the community, then put up whatever you want up there.
Well, let me share with you really quick the way that I saw it. And again, I think a lot of, and I want to say this, a lot of the folk, even a lot of the artistic folk, were like, Erasmo, you're just being negative. But I'll tell you how I saw it. And then, maybe now individuals could say, well, maybe Erasmo was making more sense. My concern was at first, when this money was coming into downtown, my concern was, wait a minute, why is everything always focused on downtown? I mean, I don't know if you heard that me constantly saying, why is everything always focused on downtown?
We know why. We know why, because they want business for their businesses.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what I've been saying for months now.
They're trying to
I've been saying this for months now, and I got backlash because a lot of people went out there to defend the mayor, saying, "No, the mayor just loves Brownsville, and it's for the Brownsville." And let me tell you, and I said, "No, guys, look, I fight for Brownsville every day. I love Brownsville, but I want something that's going to benefit Brownsville as a whole." And this is where I think that they missed their mark. And I'll get on that one right now. But when the money is coming in, Elon says, well, it's to revitalize downtown. These $10 million. It's to revitalize. And I questioned. I said, why revitalize downtown? Why is Elon Musk so interested in the downtown? And it's not so much because Elon Musk is interested in the downtown. Someone had to whisper that into his ear,
Yeah.
which is what Rosita is saying right here. Rosita is saying it right here. I did not campaign for him due to him and Graham.
Graham.
Look, Graham, the owner of 7th and Park
7th
over
and
here
Park.
on 6th Street. I mean, the guy got permits to build a coffee shop bike, and I love the coffee there. I love the people that work there. I
Really
love the bike.
fast.
I love the bike shop there. Everything's great, but got all these permits, lickety split, started
Yes.
the business where other individuals had struggled to start a business anywhere in this area, had no parking spots whatsoever, and still was permitted to open a building. Again, more power to them. I love the coffee shop. I love the staff there. I love everything there. But why is it that everything that is coming into the city of Brownsville starts to get directed to those areas where the mayor and his compadres like Graham, like the Limas, like everybody else that's on these boards and committees?
But we know why. We know why. And because and you are in the political spectrum. I'm in the healthcare and the art spectrum. We're in two different spectrums, and we can see it. We know
Yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah.
The only ones that are benefiting are the people that have the businesses down there. And I'm sorry, but it looks really bad. Look, if my husband would accuse me of cheating with somebody, the last thing that I would want to do is be driving around in the car that they make, taking pictures with them and posting them, big things to come for Brownsville teaser. I mean, having contracts with SpaceX at the beginning, being the sole contract for the food and stuff, it just adds to the suspicion, the conflict of interest.
Big conflict of interest.
And I'm on one spectrum and you're on another spectrum, and we all see it.
It's a
Yeah.
huge conflict of interest.
So,
It's a huge conflict of interest because, again, I mean, we're not thinking of Brownsville as a whole, and this is where the culture part comes in. Look, I don't care what I care what they do with downtown, but I want something that is placed. If they're going to pour all this money into downtown, I want it to represent Brownsville as a whole. And
right, but then then what's concerning too is that he and Musk are completely on board together, because he was quoted. Ricardo. He was quoted in an article saying that Musk and our visions and goals for Brownsville are aligned, and the purpose of the investment, not donation, the purpose of the investment was to create Brownsville to downtown, to turn it into a magnet to attract the type of people that Musk wants. So what does that tell us? The people that Musk wants is not here in our community. So then those monies, how do they benefit the community? If you outsource projects for money that was donated, pass off to us as being beneficial for the community, well, how did it benefit us besides having something pretty to look at?
it's not pretty.
It's
But
already.
my concern is that, look, I, at the end of the day, I don't care if he would have put up the greatest, bestest mural in the world.
Yeah.
My thought has always been the same, and I have been consistent with it. Look, when is it our turn? When is it our children's turn? When is it?
Why does somebody from the outside have to validate our worth?
Yes.
100%. Why do these individuals that are coming from California or from Africa or from Jamaica or from Alaska, I don't care where they're coming from, all these individuals, why is it that they're the ones that are setting the bar when, I'm sorry, and part of the issue, Melissa, that I have is I go to every single cultural event that I can here in the city of Brownsville. I go to the theater regularly, and the people at the theater know this. I go to the concerts that our students have in regards to the band, the choir. I'm going to be part of the Messiah that's going to, I've already said yes to the Messiah that's going to sing here, that always sings at the TSC Performing Arts Center, guys. But because I love the arts, but I recognize the amount of love and passion that our people here have for the fine arts, and I can recognize their talent because I'm amongst them. A lot of these people may not like me, but I'm amongst them, and I'm going to continue to support them. I don't care if they like me or they dislike me, because if they like me or dislike me is irrelevant to me. I love the fine arts. I love the city of Brownsville, and I want us to increase in culture, but don't try to dictate to me what culture is by stomping on our local artists.
True.
Right. And and it lends to the now fact that our community is being gentrified. Now, there's a lot of people that don't agree with the gentrification. Me personally, I'm very deep rooted in my culture and traditions, and it's going to hurt me as it happens. But there is a compassionate and a sensitive way to do it. You don't just bulldoze your way through people with your ideas. And it's like anything. You've gotta put the training wheels on and help people. You can't throw people who can't swim into a strong current of change and expect them to be able to swim and say, "Oh, great, I'm enjoying this because you're doing this for me." It doesn't happen that way.
No.
Well, Rosita makes a very valid point. Twitter and comments all sarcastic, like mocking. No, it's not like
Exactly.
Let me say something. I'm surprised she can even see any of them because he deleted everything. He deleted his press release. He deleted over 300 community comments that made him look unfavorable.
Because
so it's kind of like our voice was important enough when you needed the vote, but now that we're voicing our concerns, and not just the artists, the community.
Yeah.
Well,
in his mind, the city of Brownsville is just
what Rosita is
downtown.
saying is very true. It's not only sarcastic; it's condescending.
Yes, it is.
And that's what really trips me out, how condescending they are. I mean, look, he can't even take positive feedback. I went out there and I said, great work on some other matters.
Oh, I saw that.
And then he goes like, oh, who is this?
Yeah.
We're like,
who's this and what did you do with it, Erasmo? I saw that too, and I thought, wow, people, when they make comments like that, they say they're kidding, but they're not. Those are veiled comments. If you've ever taken any kind of behavioral classes, those are veiled comments. There is some truth behind those jokes. They're digs. There's a reason why they're digging at you. And going back to this, saying that it's to benefit the community, passing it off like that is to benefit us. That money got on an airplane and went back to California. How did that stimulate our local economy? How, that money is going to be spent in their restaurants, in their shops. They're going to get richer in California. What about us? Don't they think that the local artists would have liked to go eat at their restaurants downtown, or, to spend that money in our community for everybody else to share in that?
The excuse that was used was that, well, you're gaining so much more because the bar has been set so high. Now you have something to work for. That's what it's sounded
like I said, that was a huge disservice to Teddy Kelly. I'll give you an example why. My husband at one time, he's also an artist, Gabriel Mendoza. My husband at one time was doing commercial graphic art, the type of art that Teddy Kelly has on his bio that he does. Commercial art is very different from artistic freedom of expression. Commercial art is doing logos. You want something painted on a restaurant to promote your restaurant. That's what you're going to get. You're not letting the artist put their ideas into something. You're telling them, I want a 3-letter logo in this style or whatever. So by saying that, it kind of screwed over the artist, because you're saying this is he's going to showcase his talent and his skills. And, I told my husband, I said, you've painted murals for Captain Bob's restaurant. You did a camarón with a sombrero. Mm-hmm. If Captain Bob would have said, this artist, this is his greatest, skill and talent, how would you feel? And he goes, shut up, be pissed.
Yeah.
I go, yeah, because that is not your skill and your talent to your greatest potential. You were limited. to
100%. This comment by Ricardo is very interesting. It's really interesting because it's something that I, just now noticed that I actually warned about. I not warned about because at the end of the day, well, it's just so like them. I passed by Jacob Broad Auditorium today because I do a lot of work going to and from Matamoros,
Mhm.
and we used to have the Robert E. Lee Youth Center
Yeah.
out there. Used to have. It's
Yeah.
not the Robert E. Lee Youth Center anymore.
No.
I mean, now they changed the name. Now it's Texas Southmost College Youth Center. And what bothers me is that they always try to do it a las escondidas instead of giving the community an opportunity to comment on it, to have civil dialogue on it in regards to speaking. And I'll make mention. I'll mention this because of paintings and art. Look, I just came from Peru. I came from Cusco, and let me tell you, amazing art,
Oh
amazing,
gosh,
I
yes. I
mean,
mean, they're so
breathtaking.
rich in culture, and they know it, and they know that there's nothing wrong to be proud of it. Those
Breathtaking.
traditions and those cultures are what shaped us and shaped our community. We're
Yeah,
such
Yeah.
a tight knit community based on our traditions. I mean, the buñuelos, the grapes, I mean, the
everything
tamales, the
beautiful. What
tamales.
a lot of their artwork out there, and I'm talking about
Oh,
major. I mean, paintings that are like a building high type of paintings. A
yeah.
lot of it has makes a lot of references in regards to the conquistadores.
So that
Right.
is.
And let me tell you, and it shows the history of what happened, which before was glorified, and now we all realize was a devastation, an attempt to decimate a culture, a way of being, and some of the most intelligent, some of the most artistic individuals that have ever lived on the face of this earth, which
Yeah.
included a lot of the indigenous folk, not only from Mexico, also Central America, South America, where Cusco is at. But they don't go out there and destroy the paintings.
No.
Well,
They,
unfortunately, that's what people in Brownsville need to be ready for, because
Yes.
that is gentrification. That is what's
100%. They want to rewrite our history. No,
happening.
they have them there in order to learn the lesson. It is
Yes.
there for you to understand and realize the history, and it's supposed to tingle your mind,
Yeah.
tantallate your mind, in order to think, to reason, and to come to a certain understanding, be it by yourself or be it in a group of individuals.
Right.
And that's what really, really upsets me in regards to trying to whitewash our history and make it something other. I'm sorry, as much
It's true, and this
Yeah.
is just the newest conquistador in our community, the newest conquistador that we gladly bent over for to start gentrifying us.
Yeah.
you said the word exactly, bent over for. That's
And
exactly what I want.
what's sad is that people forget about the generosity of people like Miss Scott, the philanthropist.
Yes.
You tell me. I know that I saw online, but you tell me, how much was the donation that Musk gave, or not a donation? I'm sorry, investment.
Uh, in, regards, in regards to the
Was
downtown,
Yeah, 30 million, right?
$30 million was given to Cameron County, 20 million for schools, 10
And
million
10
for
minutes.
downtown.
Okay,
Yeah.
now, so
40.
people forget about the generosity of philanthropists like Miss Scott, who has donated even more than that, $40 million, and not just once,
Twice.
twice, and with no strings attached. So why would we bend over to allow the gentrification of our community for
Well,
a measly 30 million for a man that has billions?
I can tell you why. It's because this money is actually putting money in the pockets of the mayor and the city commissioners and
Yes.
and the one that Rosita mentioned. That's the Graham
Yeah, Graham.
Sheaves. It's putting money into their pocket. So at the end of the day, that's why they're glorifying them.
So they need to tell us the truth. Don't tell us in your press releases that it's to benefit the community. It's to benefit the elite. The Juans and Marias and Guadalupes that are downtown are being pushed out. They're raising their rents. They're gentrifying our community. There's no what was the benefit to the community? Just tell it like it is. Tell it like it is.
Well, I mean, we'd expect that, but of course, it's not self-serving. It's not as self-serving as saying, "Guys, I'm going to pocket this money. I'm going to make more money, and I want you to thank me for it." Because that's the mentality.
Yeah,
I want
exactly.
y'all servants. Y'all need to be grateful that I'm throwing you little crumbs, and that
not even that.
Kiss the ring.
Because, they have one for this project. They have one more mural that is supposedly being open to locals. In a city of over 200,000 people, you're giving them one shot, and then you bury the call for that mural for local artists in a Valley Central article, one line about the artist that's doing this. And I have called for artists posts from Trey's page from 2018, 2019, from his personal Facebook. So why wasn't there anything put out in the community for this third mural that the locals are gonna have a chance to fight over in a city of over 200,000 people? Buried that opportunity in a Valley Central article. It doesn't seem to me like there was any genuine what do you call it? A genuine that like they actually tried to get somebody for this local, unless they already had somebody picked up. That leads to another, another issue, another topic of the other murals that are being done. The Give Me Some Space murals.
Yeah.
Well, my issue has always been the same, and again, and look, a lot of people. Someone went out there and said, "Well, Erasmo, you're just trying to pander people for votes." Listen, I don't pander for anybody's votes. My stance has been consistent for years now. Years. Give our talent, our local talent, an opportunity. Look, and again, I invite you to come to my office downtown and look at the amazing billboard I have right here in my office. Mm-hmm. This one has George Ramirez on there. It's got parrots. It's got palm trees. It's got the zoo. It's got our resacas. It's got everything that really, truly represents Brownsville. It's not that hard. But with that said, they try to change logos and marketing for the city of Brownsville, and they hire companies up in Austin and San Antonio. They pay them $150,000. And again, I've been saying this for years, the same thing, $150,000. And back then, my stance back then is the same as it is right now, Melissa. Right now. Why weren't those $150,000 used to give scholarships to our students here who could have done a 10 times better job at marketing?
Yeah, and that was also one of the points that I wanted to make. If they want to do something to benefit the community, I mean, you're talking about a 6,500 square foot wall mural. That was such a golden opportunity to do something that would bond the community. Yeah. You want to do something? Let's get the schools involved.
Yeah.
Let's get the art students, even the ones that don't take art, just regular people from the community. Let's all do it together. Invite the elementary schools, invite the junior highs, especially since BISD never built that performing arts committee that they stole
$50 million,
and we're still waiting to see what's happening with that, all in the name of art.
$50 million of your dollars.
Oh yeah, and they already have it. We're going to get that money back? No. I don't think so.
No, it's not going to happen.
Ya está perdido.
And then we're still paying until the year 2039 for the other one. What is it? The bond that they passed for, was it TSC? For that Performing Arts Committee or Performing Arts Center? So it's like it feels as an artist that we're being raped in the name of art. Well,
look, and Rosita is right on. Rosita, I don't know Rosita. Rosita, I don't think Rosita has ever been on here. Rosita's right. Rosita's right on point. Rosita is right on point because I know the struggles that Danny had to go through in regards to with the Kraken Lounge. And let me tell you, if there's one spot downtown that has been overlooked, is the Kraken Lounge because of their artistic little swing in regards to bringing in not only look, Kraken Lounge that doesn't only bring in bands. I mean, I've gone seen Panteon there a couple of times.
Right.
They don't only bring local bands; they also bring local poets. They showcase art all over the place, music, different festivals.
Yeah.
And he got hell and a half to open that place up.
Yeah.
But compadres, whoever wants to open a bar or a coffee shop,
yeah, de volada.
Unfortunately, because Danny is not part of the inner circle. He's not part of the elites. But we need more people like Danny, and we need more people like the Kraken, because if we don't organize, we don't do it for ourselves, nobody else is going to do it. And it's sad because, I understand that the mayor's position is not a paid position, but there's a city director who's paid over $100,000 that is being paid to do these things.
Well,
so
he thinks he deserves a raise.
Yeah.
Did you read that?
Oh, well, I and that would leads me to another point. We were asked our opinion about whether voluntary public servant positions should be paid positions. Okay, he made a very strong argument for why they should. Why didn't he make the same kind of argument or even ask our opinions on this mural project?
Yeah.
Where are your priorities, man? I mean, you priorities. We're not a priority. The community's upset and comments that they made were not a priority. They were erased. It makes me think of that term fake news. They erase the things that they don't want people to see that are unfavorable, and not just on Facebook, but on Instagram too. I was watching the posts come in, negative comment, and negative comment, and and then the ones on top start becoming erased, delete.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's very.
His feelings got hurt.
That's very telling. That's very telling because what happens is then they'll go back and say, no, people like what we're doing. Look,
exactly.
I have proof.
Exactly. The people that are looking at our city officials for potential positions with the state later on that are looking at these things.
3% of the city
in our community. They look back and say, oh, everybody's happy. Well, in reality, we're not. But there's fake news, and that's what you're doing. You don't want to look at, you want to look at only the good things, and you don't want to accept the polarity and your duality. Sorry, but it exists, and you have to accept that this project failed. You said whatever the point was, this piece inspired something in people.
Yeah.
And as a society, we have to be extremely careful about what we put out there with our art, because art is going to inspire a reaction from people.
100%, one way or the other.
And unfortunately, what did it inspire? A lot of infighting, arguing among artists who's better than who, when they were missing the real big picture. We didn't care, that they had chosen Teddy Kelly. We were upset that it was not a local. We knew that Teddy Kelly, if he would have been given the real ability to showcase his talent, would have done a good job. It wasn't about the artist. It was about the decisions that the leadership made,
exactly.
The lack of transparency, the mishandling of money. Because the whole situation is just. Maybe somebody should open a request for.
Well, but the problem is, Melissa, that one of the things that the mayor and the city commission have tried to say is, well, it's not really your money; it's money that was given to us. And I said, it wasn't given to you, stupid. It wasn't given to you as the mayor. It wasn't given to you. It was given to
the community.
It was given to us as a community, and but that goes back to the segregation, the separation that exists between the elitists and the Juans, the Marias, the Erasmos, the Rays, all the rest of us. We're not in that category for them. So they think that all the money and all the great stuff that possibly could come from Elon Musk being here on Boca Chica is for them. It's not for the community as a whole.
It's
and
for
I'm hoping that more individuals see that.
And that's why I said, then don't tell us that it's to benefit the community.
Yeah,
well, those are words. That's lip service. That's all it is. It's just rhetoric. It's politics.
It was a bank deposit into the city of Brownsville for a rich man to push his agenda, who our mayor flat out said in that article, my goals and vision for Brownsville are aligned with Elon Musk. So then why did the press release say those monies were, and then people need to remember the timing of that donation. When did that donation come in?
After the explosion. Elon Musk did not vote for Trey Mendez.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Trey Mendez does not represent Elon Musk. Trey Mendez was voted in to represent every single citizen here in Brownsville, anyone that lives in Brownsville, even if they didn't vote for him or disagreed with him. That's his job. You got to man up and take it. But something that Rosita says, and it took a mural for this to come to light, and I'm going to disagree a little bit. It's something that has been very obvious to a lot of us for many years. Now what's happened is it's more apparent. It's now more individuals are seeing it, which is
they're so brazen about it, like they don't care.
They don't care.
I mean,
Rosita's got a bunch of screenshots, man.
Good. And the community needs them. They need to know the direction that the mayor has taken this and the city commission, because the city commission, I don't know if y'all have noticed, has been very quiet. I
noticed that, and nobody has made any comments. Nobody has wanted to say anything, and
nothing.
And I want to say something about that too. He was very quiet when people were complaining on the press release. Why not local? Why this and that? And he only answered 2 comments on that entire post. One of them was that he did not choose the artist, but he's a lawyer. He understands that inaction is still the action to take no decision, to do nothing. Inaction is action. You made the decision to do nothing about it. So, in fact, he did choose the artist.
100%. Yeah, even if you're silent, you've already spoken.
And the fact is that artist is a commercial graphic artist. He's a logo artist. So we knew what we were getting when we saw commercial graphic artists. We knew that it was okay. That's why I asked on another show I said, what is he going to paint? How are they going to demonstrate? How are they going to showcase Brownsville's endeavors of being progressive and innovative with a commercial graphic artist if that does logos? It just didn't click for me. And now that that the story was changed 4 times of the purpose of the logo, look, man, I've handled multi-million-dollar equipment in my labs. If they told me go out and buy an instrument that does drug screens, and I went and I spent money on something that does diabetes testing, don't you think I'd get fired for that?
Yeah.
You would have been out the door, girl.
That's right. So what's the difference? All we're doing is raising awareness to hold these people accountable for what they say they're going to do. It's all documented. You people are the ones telling us, putting in writing what they're going to do with that money. All we're doing is saying, stick to your words. Don't tell us it benefits us. Do what you say you're gonna do.
Well, you just tell us the truth. Look, mira, at the end of the day, Melissa, look, all the mayor needed to do. This is my opinion, guys, because we have a very forgiving community here, guys. Very, very forgiving community. All he had to do was, you know what, guys, I screwed up. We screwed up, guys. Sorry, we made a mistake. But no, like I said it at first, he kept on digging himself a deeper and deeper and deeper hole, to whereas he couldn't get out of it anymore.
Yeah, and everybody makes mistakes.
Everyone makes mistakes. All he had to do, I mean, after the first backlash, because let me tell you, and I love my art community here in Brownsville, but I think that when they first started getting up in arms, and because that's how we are, they were a little bit on the nice side with him, trying to give him a chance and out. Like they went to the mayor. I mean, I follow this. They went to the mayor like a mayor, hey, well maybe this and this, and then he just continued to slap them down. I mean, post after post, deletion after deletion. All he did was continuing to slap them down, and I was amazed. I was going like, "What the hell is this guy?"
Even to the very last post where he says that this mural set the bar for future murals. I thought, wow, a commercial graphic logo sets the bar for future mural. Well, then he did us a favor.
Well, my thing is, again, going back into
then.
Look, I've been to art shows at our schools. I've been to at the art galleries that we've had here in the city of Brownsville. I've been to them. Let me tell you, I stay hours at times admiring the amazing work that our students, as our college majors out there, a lot of the work that they produce. I mean, I'm sorry, and no disrespect to the artists out here, is I'm sorry, but our folks have produced 10 times better material than what I've seen on that Pepto wall. And again, no disrespect to the artist, man, but
no, I mean the artist did exactly what he was asked to do. That they knew what it was going to look like. They knew what they were asking for that BTX logo, and it's not the artist's fault. It's our leadership. So going back to the first press release, we're going to showcase how progressive and innovative Brownsville is. They missed their mark. And then that it's going to inspire civic pride, and it's going to make us happy when we look at the colors. The majority of the community says they missed their mark. And then they said it's going to showcase. It was to showcase, not to represent Brownsville. It was to showcase the talent of this artist. That missed its mark too. And then the last thing was to showcase Brownsville culture, and that missed the mark too. So we failed in this project. And
100%.
so what's going to happen now? The only thing that we can do is learn from this. And
all of us learn from it.
Yeah.
The community. And I'm a portrait artist in the Valley. And the way I was taught was, even if nobody agrees with someone's art, it does not give a right to vandalize the work. And let me say right there, Manny, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. And that is one of the reasons that I've been very, very vocal in regards to fighting for the preservation of any art form whatsoever, be it statue, be it rock, be it painting, doesn't matter. We don't have to like it.
Yeah.
We could all agree to dislike it, but it needs to remain because it teaches a lesson, Manny. I'm with you, bro. 1,000,000%.
I want to say something also about the fact that, had it been maybe a modern building, a more modern building where they would accept pop art like that.
Yeah.
The architecture of the building was all wrong, but this was a historical building.
Yeah, a better fit.
And I read a comment on somebody's page when they're talking about the Capitol Theater, and this lady, she must be in about her 60s, 70s, and she tells this her nephew. She said that mural, this new mural, completely stole the nostalgia for her, because not her mother, but her grandmother.
Wow.
At 8 years old, sang her heart out in the Capitol Theater and won a singing contest. And she goes, I can never look at that place the same. I can never look at that place the same way again.
But part of the problem is that they never brought in the experts, Melissa. They never brought in the experts, and that's, again, and for me, and some of Trey's supporters are out there saying, well, Erasmo's just saying this because he wants to, try to cut Trey down. Something I've been saying for years. My stance has not changed. That's why, Manny, we're not offended by the artist, by him being for where he's from and everything else. There's just a better way. why not be inclusive and bring in the community and
Yeah.
have the impunity, have some type of input? Because then, Melissa, then we would have had that grandmother story. Then we would have had that individual story, and then their take in regards to sharing with these individuals and with the community as a whole, so that the community as a whole could, form a better decision in regards to what was going to go up in one of our actual historic buildings.
And the truth is that there was never any intention to use local artists or to even have any input in the community, because there was no, they never asked our opinions about this the way they asked for the opinions on pay for voluntary positions. There was no local call for artists put out for any of the projects. It wasn't until after the community got upset and said, what's going on, that they said, oh, they'll have their chance later, you'll get the scraps. And then they buried that call for local artists in one line in Valley Central, not even on the City of Brownsville page, not on the Parks and Recreation page, not on the Beautification Committee page, not on the page, nowhere. So where, and I go back to 2018, 2019, Trey himself made those calls for local art. So what happened?
Sable palms, camaroneros, migrant workers, abuelitas making tortillas, our sister city Matamoros, chowders. See, these again, and I'm going back to Manny. I'm not disrespecting what the artist did in any way, shape, or form. I agree with Melissa that the placement was horrible. The framing, going back to
man, and it looks like it needs to be cropped.
And I go back to Gabriel, because these here are the experts in it. And, they know, and they make sense. Ricardo makes sense in regards to bringing all this. And look, if we would have taken from Ricardo, we would have taken from Melissa, we would have taken from Gabriel, we would have put all that together, then we would have something that our community would look at and go like, well, that makes me proud.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and the first idea that was thrown out there about showing Brownsville's endeavors of being progressive and innovative. Okay, so let's start a timeline. Let's show, the Fort Brown. Let's show Sable Palm. Let's show TSC. Let's show somebody graduating from Brownsville High School. Let's show them, the farm workers picking and because that's such a
la
labores.
And let's show people making, entamaladas, and then let's show somebody graduating from UTRGV, and then let's show them being the ones to fly those rockets for Elon Musk. That is a progression of our endeavors and our innovation. So there are ways to do this. A lot of people have lots of ideas, but when you do things behind closed doors that affect the community, because art affects the community. It's very 100%. Obvious and apparent because there's so many people upset over this. They don't understand the responsibility as a society that they have to make decisions that are positive impacting and have long lasting positive impacts. There's a way to do this. You need to be compassionate and sensitive when you make these decisions and you do these things.
Well, it's very unfortunate, and Jessica, that's something that we made mention of in regards to dismissing all the negative comments, and encouraging more of those butt kissers, those yes people, to continue to come on and support and say, "Oh no, it's great, it's wonderful." It's not great or wonderful when it's not the opinion of most of the people in the city of Brownsville. And look, I said this, and I'll say this again. I'm very happy that Juan Uvalles, Beatrix. I'm very, very proud that they went out there and put up a poll. And in that poll, 96% of the individuals that follow Beatrix and
she's just huge, man.
My son lives in Austin. And I had kind of been telling him, you need to know what's going on over here. You need to know. And, he kind of ignored me. But when drag activist, Beatrix, put out the poll, he sends me a text message and a screenshot of the mural. And he says, what the hell is going on down there? And he said, what
I
is
saw
it?
that.
And I said, yeah, that's what I've been trying to warn you about. And we're being watched, and they don't understand the impact that it has on our history, the history of border art.
Yeah.
Completely changed forever. You know, border art, border fusion, Tex-Mex, Chicano movement, everything that is local to us in the art community is going to be changed. We're rewriting history, guys. We're rewriting not just Brownsville history, RGB history, and in essentially Texas history of our art.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with you 100%. And it's just really, really very, very unfortunate because, again, look, we don't have to. And look, it's something with Manny said, and it still stuck with me. Look, guys, we don't have to like what an artist, what a sculptor,
Yeah.
what anything in our history has done or affected, on our people. We have to learn from it all. We have to learn from the Spaniards who came and
Mhm.
decimated our people,
Mhm.
decimated our
Yeah.
people, guys. We have to learn from them. We have to learn from the slavery movement, the slavery years here in America. We have to learn from them,
Yeah.
guys. We have to learn the true history of Brownsville. We have to learn in regards to Charles Stillman. And when I went out there and tried
Yeah.
to say, hey, well, there's a lot of issues having to deal with Charles Stillman, the Cortinas, and everybody else. Everyone's like, oh, that's what. And then we're glorifying these individuals by bringing in chicken houses from Corpus Christi. You know,
Yeah.
chicken houses from Corpus,
Mhm.
and then we're having to pay them to fix them up. I'm
Yeah.
going like, what the hell is going on?
Mhm.
What is going on? Honestly, your post saying starting to look better just disappointing because that's going to influence others that no, it's not going to look.
No.
Let me tell you. Let me say this, and I'm going to say this again, guys. Is that a lot of the posts where someone had added on dodichis to the wall, the post, Manny, that added on Panteon, an amazing they're artists. There are
Yeah.
local bands. Panteon, local
Yeah.
band. I mean, they put their logo on the wall. It wasn't trying to encourage Panteon to go out put their logo, or the Ordo Dichis, or La Southmost con Safos, or La Muralla con Safos at all. It's art, Manny. It's trying to make a statement. And I'm sorry, a lot of the tagging guys, and I might get blasted for this. A lot of the tagging out there says tells something. But
Yeah.
let me, and I'm gonna
And those
end
are
my
artists
spiel,
too.
I'm gonna end my spiel with this real quick, Manny, because I know what you're trying to say, and again, I'm going to disrupt this
Disagree.
respectfully disagree. Back some time ago, Manny, and this is here in Brownsville, and I think that you may not be from Brownsville. Back some years ago, they built some new benches at Morningside Park, beautiful benches, and I went out there and said, great job, City of Brownsville.
Yeah.
Great job in getting these benches set up at our parks. Well, the next day they were tagged. They
Yeah.
were not only tagged, they were they were vandalized. And part of the problem, Manny, and I'm going to say this, guys, part of the problem is that local leadership has failed our community in regards to making them feel that they are a part of.
Yeah.
And
Ownership. Taking ownership.
taking ownership. Look, Melissa, I've told people back then, guys, do not destroy what is yours.
Yeah.
It's your bench.
You know,
Don't destroy it. It's
the,
Yeah.
your bench. Don't tag it
No.
because it's
and,
yours.
you
But
know,
these people, the corrupt political machine, have made people believe that it's not yours, Melissa. It's not theirs. It's theirs, the elitist. Is
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
because they're the ones that are always benefiting from it.
Yes. True.
That's the message, Manny. It's like art, Manny. And look, people may disagree with the way I use. That's fine. You could disagree, but wait a minute. Why am I not disappointed with your art form and your artwork?
Right.
Because what I do, you may not think it's an art. I think it's an art. It's the way it is, bro.
Yeah.
We can't be half-hearted and pick and choose what art we like and what art we dislike. Art is art.
Art's art.
Love the way Melissa is voicing her concerns and love for this town. Thank you. Thank you, for bringing this to the first light on your show. 100%.
Thank you.
It inspired favoritism. We have tons of talent in Brownsville. Yes.
Even in Matamoros, our sister city.
Oh man, Matamoros.
Our sister city hosted one of our own locals, and so it was almost a slap in the face to them as well. Why didn't we reciprocate?
This would have been beautiful, actually, what David is saying. Would have been beautiful. I'm going to get to the comments real quick because I do want to get home. Mm-hmm. No one's saying that what happened is right. It's about people being let down by their mayor, Manny. 100%.
Yes.
Problem is a lot of people don't want to open their eyes. 100%. True. Good evening, Norma and Mosa. Don't forget my birthday song tomorrow. Happy birthday to you. Early tomorrow.
Happy birthday to you.
No one's taking the artist condone. Some went to the face. If someone went to the face. No, not at all.
No.
I don't think that it actually happened. We'll see. We don't make $2 million mistakes. No, they do. Oh, that takes months of planning. And let me tell you, it seems like if it took a couple of seconds for them to decide that they were going to pocket that.
Oh, we all have screenshots, Jesse.
Yes.
We all have screenshots.
No mistake there. Mini Mayor knows exactly what he's doing. Yeah. Pepto-Bismol. Just as at any employment, you have a job performance review, and any elected official should be reviewed by citizens, then talk about a pay raise. Let me tell you, I think every 2 years out of a 4-year term, we should have a state of the union in regards to the community members being able to, say what they feel. Hate. Cut him down. Who cares? He doesn't care about people. He doesn't care about people at all.
Yeah.
To keep our
You're fired.
It shows us where it came from, who we are, and who we take it. Why? Because of leaders are sheep. Yes. Consensus. Agree, Lily.
Yes.
Excellent points, Melissa. 100%. You need to run for mayor again. 2023. Traitor thinks he's all Burgoyes y nada que ver y no llegan ni a los talones a musketeer, pun intended.
Pun intended.
I got that one. The mural is an attempt to change our community and change our history of our community. First, it was statues. Now it's a mural. Mari, yes.
Yeah.
Well, and I just posted it today. We just lost the Robert E. Lee Center, a youth center. Yeah. And look, instead of being a place to teach against slavery, to teach against anything out there, guys.
We're ready, guys, because it's happening.
We've lost that opportunity. It's gone forever. Like the Rock was lost, like the Capitol building now is lost. We all learned about the Napoleon complex thanks to Trek. It seems that there must be non-disclosure agreement. Otherwise, the artist would have defended his art and state why he took his money and ran.
Well, and then it's very telling also that the artist himself never even said anything about being here. Never.
I invited him to the show. No comment.
On his own social media, never said he was going to be there. Why didn't he take a picture with the mayor in front of his completed mural and have the mayor, if they were so proud to showcase this artist? I would have wanted a picture with the mayor after I did a fantastic mural in the city. Yeah. I would have liked to have met the people in the community that I was doing the mural for.
I wonder if you met any of the artists.
I'm sorry?
I wonder if you met any of the artists. I mean, I'm a chess player. I go to a community. I want to meet with other chess players.
Actually, he did. Gabriel Trevino went down and met him. They took pictures together. I mean, there's no bad blood between us and the artist.
Right.
We're not bitter with the artist. It was never about the artist. It's about our leadership and the decisions that were made, the mishandling of the money, the lack of transparency, and the gentrification that we know is coming. And they're not being compassionate. They're not being sensitive about the way that they're doing this.
100%.
Don't give them ideas, Jessica. You're going to have a ribbon cutting ceremony for the mayor.
Well, we did a groundbreaking ceremony at a building that cost us $2.3 million.
The dirt pile.
That was actually no dirt there to begin with. But again, nothing's going to happen in the building. Guys, thank you all so much for coming on. Thank you so much for your passion.
For having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Always an open venue, guys. Always an open venue, guys. Again, folks, I'm very, very proud that a lot of more folk are starting to see a lot of things a lot more clearly now. And it was a comment that was made, I think is very important. It took a mural to finally open the eyes of many folks out there to see the light. I'm proud, guys. At the sense, maybe what was going to happen in this community, guys, is that mural is going to serve a purpose far greater than any of us can imagine at this
Yeah,
point in time right now. So, if that is the case, then to God be the glory, guys. To God be the glory.
yeah.
Tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, we'll be back. We'll talk about the Robert E. Lee Youth Center. As that, we'll talk about
Órale.
the renaming, the changing. Now it's not no longer the Robert E. Lee Youth Center. It's something. And again, guys, I warned about this. I
The
warned about
Trey
this
Youth
months
Center.
ago. Well, I warned about this months ago, guys. Maybe years ago, even that this was going to
Yeah,
happen, and people were saying, "Well, you're wrong."
you're
As
negative.
I took a picture, and it's on my page, guys. Guys, thank you all again for your time. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for being the voice of many people here in the city of Brownsville. Guys, God bless. Take care. Social distance, face covering, hand sanitizer. If you still believe in all that, guys. Guys, I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock in the morning. Guys, be good to each other, and please, please, please continue to be good to me. God bless.